Rachel Maddow accuses Trump of wanting to execute those at MSNBC. What happens when you take one of the most contemptible personalities on far-left MSNBC, mix it with the inherent nonsense of The View, and throw it on national television? Nothing. Good, to be sure. But even the most hardened cynics probably didn't expect this delusional and fear-mongering debacle of a segment that aired on Wednesday. MSNBC host and pundit Rachel Maddow appeared on The View and covered a wide swath of topics, such as President Joe Biden's recent trip to Israel. Notably, she was also there hawking a new book, Prequel, An American Fight Against Fascism. And if that title seems hyperbolic, just wait until Maddow opens her mouth. You can watch the smoldering train wreck of a segment below. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than one of the topics that Maddow covered was the ongoing witch hunt against former President Donald Trump. She obviously had nothing positive to say about the 45th POTUS, but that's expected. What's not nearly as expected is that Maddow seemingly showed off a new skill on the show. She can apparently read minds. Listen to what Trump's saying, Maddow began in her scare-laden monologue. She continued, he's basically portraying a future for America, if he's put back in the White House, in which we don't have another election after that. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than few. Okay, right off the bat, that's just fundamentally untrue. Now, Trump absolutely thinks the 2020 election was stolen, and that's his prerogative. But wanting to improve election integrity and wanting a China-style dictatorship are not separated by a thin line, but rather a massive, thick line. More so, even if Trump did go off the deep end, there are systems and checks and balances in place to ensure that no president can become a king. That is one of the base foundations of this country. So not only was Maddow showing off some remarkable telepathy with that statement, presupposing what Trump would do, she was showing off an astounding lack of knowledge of how this country's constitution works. Not a terrible surprise for a leftist, much to the chagrin of anyone who cares about truth. Maddow continued in her unhinged rant, again speaking for Trump. Maddow said this dystopian future would be ushered in by him, because the elections are all rigged, that the democratic process can't be trusted, that Congress should just work for him, that the Justice Department should just work for him. Mind you, Maddow never once posits a shred of evidence for this other than all the mean things that Trump has said in the past. That's a strongman form of government, Maddow said. That's not what we have. He'd cancel the news, Sarah Haynes added, again, without a single explanation of how the news are done. He wants to put MSNBC on trial for treason, so he can execute us, Maddow said. In minimal fairness to Maddow, Trump did come out and say that he wants to put MSNBC on trial for treason. Given the wildly speculative disinformation coming from one of the network's top hosts, he may not be totally wrong. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than. It's that last line that really stuck out because Maddow didn't seem to be embellishing for effect, or joking. She genuinely seemed to think that if Trump becomes president again, she and her far-left ilk would be summarily killed. This sort of fear-mongering also isn't new for Maddow, who has voiced concern over the dictator Trump boogeyman before. That is so far beyond delusional, that it almost makes you feel bad for Maddow.